What was your interest then in high school? Like, do you know in high school I'm going to go to university to do a certain subject?
I was interested in international relations.
Okay.
And there wasn't a program at OU
Yeah.
around that. But when I was in that, but that was kind of something that I wanted to do from younger before. I really liked examining and understanding how government interacted with people.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be in spaces that I could understand and examine communities and movement and how people were impacted by decisions by government.
Yeah.
That mattered to me. And so that was my interest. I will say through high school and even into college, I didn't really engage too much the experience in and of itself. I think because moving to Oklahoma, I was essentially, in this different place and really having to look at who Sharina was, what mattered to her, because this was all different for me. I wasn't, also the culture in Oklahoma at that time, it was very, to me, what appeared to be cliquey, and it wasn't about race, or it was just people had a tendency to settle into the familiar, and I didn't see the diverse and the embracing of different cultural experiences like existed in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And so that was very, very different for me.
Yeah. Was that kind of the reason you wanted to go out of state then, to go to Howard University?
It wasn't, I wanted to go there because of the program and examine the program and the offering, and also the fact that it was in the DC area and it would, what I felt like was position me.
Yeah.
But I think because I did not get to go there, that staying in Oklahoma, going through college was like, just go and get out.
Yeah. Going through the motions, and then I can get out and I can do my thing and
Yeah.
chase my dream that I want. And so when you graduated, did you think I want to get as far away from this state as possible, or did you dive into a business that
Well,
that
it
you
was
really...
interesting. I took a job when I was in college and, needing income, and I started working for someone, and taking that job, I was managing an office. He actually had a pest control company at that time.
Yeah.
And it was seasonal. And so, but it was working with him. They were young. He kind of liked business ideas. We would talk about different business ideas. It was there that I understood that I had the ability to kind of create these things by paying attention to what was happening. So I worked with him then to take his seasonal business to a year-round business and develop a company and a model that actually helped change the positioning of their lives, him and his family. And so doing that, walking through that process and developing the model really helped me see a lot of things. And then as a result of working with him, we went through so many different things. We tapped into so many different industries. He'd come in with this new idea, and it kind of became this thing that I would say he has the Midas touch, but I turn it to gold. So he throws an idea out there, I build the infrastructure and systems around it, and ultimately that led to a pretty good relationship and what it gave me for access to people.
Yeah.
But when I was I went through Tomorrow's Leaders program when I was in mid-high. And so that gave me the opportunity to see, in that I shadowed someone with a bank. So as they were going through a merger and acquisition. And so that gave me another exposure. And it ultimately led to this thing where I wanted to touch as many things as possible. And in college, I remember thinking how great it would be to work for a temp agency. And I asked the temp agency then, please put me in as many different jobs as possible. And I don't want to spend more than a week there. But when I would go to work for the temp agency or go to work for the entity the temp agency sent me to, they would ultimately ask me to become an employee. And I realized that I had skills that companies could quickly identify that they would want in a worker. And that, to me, kind of drove me even more. So I developed this thing. If I like anything long enough past a year, then I'm likely going to stick to it because it's piqued or caught my interest.
Yeah.